Right, okay, part 3, part 1, part 2 is already on the channel if you guys want to check that out before this video. Also link part 1 and part 2 in the description. Right, Genghis Khan, debut of Temujin Khan. I'm looking forward for this one, man. Let's get straight into this.
A tragic beginning, a daring escape, and a rise to power. The steppe has come to life with gossip.
Right,
Could
okay.
young upstart Temujin be the one to defy custom and unite the Mongol clans under one ruler?
Oh shit, here we go. Oh, you already know this is going to be a juicy one. This is the last part as well, so this is going to be really good.
Daring escape from Genghis' band traveled fast across the steppe. Respected prophets and religious leaders began to report that Temujin's ascension to power was destined by the spirits, and Temujin was 100% okay with that. He summoned his followers to participate in a council called a Counterattack, which was essentially an election. Families, lineages, and clans voted by showing up. Their presence served as an endorsement, or their absence as a vote against him. Attracting a simple majority counted as a victory. Unfortunately, the turnout was scarce. The majority of—
Hey, why if someone just didn't even know it was happening, bro? That counts as, like, they're not turning up, or, like, they had to turn to...
steppe lineages still supported Genghis.
They have to turn up to either one, right?
With this, though. Having now gathered all of his allies in one place, he consolidated this small but loyal group to establish himself as a minor Khan. And thus, Temujin became Temujin Khan. He quickly sent an envoy to Gur Khan to reassert his loyalty and seek his patron's blessing, reassuring him that this new title was not meant as a challenge. Gur Khan was fine with it. He preferred that Temujin and Genghis' ambitions stay focused against each other instead of him. With his patron's blessing—
Wait, but isn't he the powerful Khan? Why is he even worried about if they do have their focus on him? He's scared that, like, his son is going to overthrow him. Like,
blessing secured, Temujin built up a revolutionary system of government within his tribe. A Khan's court was known as an ordu, or horde, and traditionally the Khan's horde consisted exclusively of his relatives, and served as a kind of aristocracy over the rest of the tribe. Temujin, however, assigned positions of power based on loyalty and ability, without regard for familial ties. He appointed butchers, cooks, archers, guards, and keepers of prized herds of livestock and horses. He also created an elite regiment of bodyguards to surround his camp at all times. Genghis, meanwhile, still refused—
Hey, listen, what's happened with the past with Temujin, bro? That's a smart move right there.
to acknowledge Temujin as anything other than an insolent upstart who needed to be put in his place. He carefully planned and bided his time, waiting for just the right moment to take Temujin down. That moment finally came a year after Temujin's Counterattack. One of Temujin's followers killed one of Genghis' distant relatives during a cattle raid, and Genghis used this as a justification to attack Temujin's camp with his vastly superior army, quickly routing Temujin's forces. Then, to prevent them from regrouping and retaliating, Genghis perpetrated a horrific show of revenge, beheading one of the captured leaders and boiling 70 captive prisoners alive.
What the fuck?
Unfortunately for Genghis, this cruel show of force backfired hard, horrifying even his staunchest allies. By treating his enemies this way, he further emphasized the divisions between the old aristocratic lineages and the abused lower classes. Temujin may have lost the battle, but this moment was a turning point in terms of public support and sympathy. More families flocked to join Temujin's camp, and he slowly began to rebuild. In 1195, a 33-year-old Temujin would be handed an unexpected opportunity in the form of a foreign raid. A group called the Jurchid approached Gur Khan asking him to raise an army and attack their enemies, the Tartars. For this raid, Gur Khan enlisted Temujin's horde. Now, Temujin had much to gain from this venture, so he gathered some Temujin's horde. Now,
that's Temujin? How is he so buff now?
Temujin had much to gain from this venture, so he gathered support of his own. He approached a small clan directly to the south of his camp, the Jurchen, and offered them spoils and glory in exchange for participating in the raid. The Jurchen gave their word. They were in.
Oh, that name's so fucked.
Shortly before the raid, Temujin invited the Jurchen to a feast. Unfortunately, during the celebration, Temujin's half-brother Belgate spotted two Jurchen attempting to steal horses. He identified one of the thieves as a renowned wrestler named Buri, and readied himself to fight the man as an equal, thinking that they would wrestle honorably. Instead, Buri drew his sword and cut Belgate across the shoulder. A grave insult. When the rest of the feast heard about this, it turned into a drunken brawl. And by brawl, I mostly mean food fight, because in keeping with tradition, everybody had left their weapons behind. Needless to say, when the time came to set out on a raid against the Tartars, the Jurchen never showed up to help. As with the Kurultai, absence constituted a vote of no confidence in Temujin. Victory was swift and easy all the same, and the spoils were astounding. The Tartars had access to manufactured goods from the Chinese Empire, including silk clothes and blankets and gold and silver jewelry. Captured children wore luxuries the likes of which the ragged Mongols had never seen on anyone, let alone a child. The opulence was astounding. But more importantly, Temujin saw clearly how the powerful Jurchen had just used one border tribe to fight another, and the lesson was clear. A tribe conquered today will rise up and have to be defeated again in an endless cycle of warfare with no decisive victory or lasting peace. Temujin will remember this. With his newfound wealth, Temujin was now prepared to push into the territories of smaller neighboring tribes. When he returned home to discover that the Jurchen had raided his camp while he was—
Bro, this Jurchen, right? I swear they went to be allies with them. What is their problem? Well, like, what, seriously, like, what is actually the Jurchen's problem? I understand that they robbed a couple horses, right? But that was 2 people from the Jurchen. That wasn't the whole entire tribe, right? And then the Jurchen drew the sword in a wrestling fight that was going to be fair, right? And now they just raid. Like, what the fuck is their problem, man?
Away, picking his
They're meant to be
target
allies,
became
bro.
very easy. Now that he was an experienced, battle-tested commander, Temujin and his mounted archers scattered the Jurchen with ease. With this victory in hand, Temujin instituted another revolutionary change in ruling style. See, in the traditional cycle of Mongol raiding and counterattack, the defeated tribe was looted and a few key prisoners were taken, but the rest of the tribe was left alone. Historically, those survivors would then regroup and strike back, or seek out larger rival clans to join. Temujin decided that this cycle was not in his best interests. After defeating the Jurchen, he summoned a Kurultai of all his followers and conducted a public trial of the aristocratic Jurchen leaders. For failing to fulfill their promise of joining him in war, and for raiding his camp in his absence, they were found guilty, and Temujin had them executed. After this, he went on to occupy the Jurchen lands and redistribute them amongst his followers. He then integrated the remaining Jurchen citizens into the households of his own clan, not as slaves, but as full members in good standing. He also adopted an orphaned Jurchen boy as his brother, giving him to his mother, Olun, to raise as her own son. Then, as a final show of force, Temujin summoned all of his followers,
I love how he just turns from this into the buff to Temujin.
Including the newly adopted Jurchen, to a feast. For the event, he also summoned Buri, the wrestler who had started that great brawl by stealing horses and cutting Belgate. Temujin ordered the 2 men to wrestle. Buri had never lost a match in his life, but he feared Temujin's wrath and allowed Belgate to throw him. Normally, this would mean that the match was over, but Belgate and Temujin had made their own plans. After winning, Belgate set upon the defeated Buri and broke his back. With this final merciless display, Temujin had rid himself of all the Jurchen leaders and sent a clear message to all who might oppose him. If you surrender to Temujin and remain loyal, there are great rewards to be gained. But if you betray him, there will be no mercy, and nobody, not even aristocrat—
Hey, listen, even without the rewards, you gotta surrender and just do your part, you know what I mean?
are safe. Temujin moved his base of operations into Jurchen territory, continuing to conquer and attract lesser lineages. Meanwhile, Jamaica worked to establish himself as a leader and advocate for the aristocrats, who feared the threat Temujin posed to their traditions and way of life. Then, in 1201, once he had the full support of the aristocracy, Jamaica made a play for the title of ruler of all Mongols. He summoned his own Kurultai and successfully—
Hey, listen, right? 2 things, right? First of all, it's actually crazy how, like, they was blood brothers and now they're against each other. And the second thing I want to say is, like, they're trying to be the leader, the ruler of all Mongols, right? But, like, the thing is, isn't the Great Khan— wait, what was his name? Unc Khan or something like that? It sounds like Uncle Khan. I'm going to call him Uncle Khan. Isn't Uncle Khan, like, the leader of all Mongols? Like, he's, like, the most powerful person? Because Temujin and his brother, right, blood brother, they're under the Uncle Khan, right? So, like, Well, how are they gonna become the lead? Like, how are they gonna overthrow him pretty much? Like what the fuck?
Fully bestowed upon himself the title of Gur Khan, an ancient and revered title which meant universal ruler. This was a strategic choice. Jamaica chose this title not just because it was ancient and respected, but also because the last person to bear the title was Ong Khan's uncle, who had ruled until...
So, well, why does Ong Khan... Why does he not want to be the leader of all Mongols? Is he just chilling? Like, just chilling with his massive, powerful, like, you know, what he's doing right now?
Ong Khan revolted and killed him. Jamaica was not just challenging Temujin here, but Ong Khan as well.
Yeah,
if he could win this...
That's what I'm saying. How are you challenging Ong Khan, the guy that's above you, bro, that controls all of it? How? How are you
This war, he would be the supreme ruler of the Central Steppe. As Temujin's patron, Ong Khan came out personally to lead his warriors in the campaign against their rival. The battle was as much psychological as it was physical. Shamans lined the rocky cliffs along the battlefield, beating ritual drums to summon supporting spirits and control the weather. As they beat their drums, a massive thunderstorm gathered, which both sides attributed to the shamans supporting Temujin. This shook the resolve of many of Jamaica's warriors, and caused many to desert in fear of angering the spirits. Jamaica was forced to retreat. Ong Khan chased after Jamaica and the main part of his army, while Temujin gave chase to the Taichut, one of the clans loyal to Jamaica, and coincidentally,
So Ong Khan is with Temujin here? Oh wait, that's because the other blood brothers after Ong Khan's position,
clan that had abandoned him and his family decades before. They proved difficult to defeat. Both sides fought for hours, firing from horseback, from fixed positions behind rocks, or hastily assembled barricades. Toward the end of the day, a poisoned enemy arrow struck Temujin Khan's neck, knocking him unconscious. Darkness fell, and both sides made camp on the battlefield to rest until daylight.
No, that's not it.
Thanks to the aid of his loyal second-in-command, Temujin recovered by the next morning. The Taichut didn't even know that Temujin had been injured, and most of them had fled in the night. Temujin sent his warriors in pursuit, and, as with the Jurchen, publicly executed their leaders and integrated the rest, taking over their lands. He also found the family who had helped him escape 30 years prior, and freed them from their servitude.
Holy
Temujin
shit.
had won this fight, but Jamaica escaped Ong Khan, and fled to more remote parts of the steppe to regroup and recruit new allies. Even without the Taichut, Jamaica still had many clans loyal to him. The final showdown was yet to come.
Oh, we not done? Oh shit, there's a part 4? Bro, I was actually quite sad that was it. I thought there was only 3 parts. There's more parts? Oh, sick. Okay, right, okay. I'm a little bit more excited now. But like, hell yeah, bro, hell yeah. Because I was thinking, like, no way this is done in this part, right? Because like, we haven't even seen Genghis Khan yet. We haven't even seen him unleash the motherfucking beast. But right, okay. We're going to get into part 4. I've been uploading these daily, so part 4 will be tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. Let me know if you are. Make sure you guys do leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys in part 4.